you know, if you make an album, it's terrible to make an album and put it in, you know, and don't play.
Yeah, so the record company was surprised that we wanted to do it. So.
And he said, well, do you want to, I said, yes, I'm going to play. So, and that's what we do now, and I'm glad we did it. I'm Robert Soeterboek. You're watching LiveProg. Before the morning comes. We are here cozy in the dressing room with well, a part of Plan 9. And you guys just had the sound check. How did it go?
Well, we seem to be ready. This was relatively easy compared to some other sound checks. So we're fine in a front of house engineer, so all should be well.
Yeah, props to Dave.
He's a sound guy?
Yeah.
Okay. And he's doing a good job?
Yes,
He's our steady sound guy. Is he the sound guy for here or for all the shows?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. For all the shows.
Well, we'd love to have him for all the shows, but he's very on top of things, and if there's stuff in the place we have to play that has to be sorted out, he does it really, really well, so that's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's important to have a good crew behind you to make sure you have you can focus on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we got.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's good to hear that you have that and that everything went well. So, well, with the upcoming show, I mean, it's not the first time, but how are you feeling?
Excited, like always. It's always fun to play with this band. It's really, I'm always looking forward to it, and it's a party, right?
Yeah, it's always a party. Yeah. I can't live without parties. So, but on this age, this is the only party I still have in this band. For the rest, I live a sober life.
Party,
okay. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's really going from strength to strength. Every gig, pretty much, is better than the previous one. So it's getting better.
Yeah.
So that alone is really fun.
That's good to hear. It's been almost a year since The Lost Songs was released. Yeah. Time flies, and you guys played quite a few shows already. Yeah. I believe you've done about 7. This is number 8.
Maybe, somewhere about
something like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of bands that do 1, 2, maybe 3 shows, and then they're done, and then either move on to the next country or they're done with the shows. But you guys keep going. So, what keeps you going? The interest, I think. Venues are interested to look in us, so
and we just want to play.
Yeah, we need to play because. But we got some ideas to cross the border.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because so far it's been only in the Netherlands.
Yes. But
who knows?
I mean, there's definitely interest if you look at where the records been selling and everything. So we should be able to go abroad as well. Interesting. Yeah, No, I got nothing exciting going on now. Yeah.
Now, the next question was, how difficult is it to get gigs booked? But I believe in your case, it's not so difficult. No.
We have a good team to do the bookings. So
in the beginning, I was asked by the record company, "Are you gonna play live?" And I said yes. But then I thought, but how? I need to get a band together.
Yeah, right.
And I need to book shows. Yeah. And if I brought a band together, I thought, well, then at least I have to book 10 shows because you know it's a lot of work and that's what happened. And from then on, it was too much work for me. So I leave it over to Jane and Koen, and we are the team, and from now on they're booking the shows, so I can focus on music.
On a new album, right? And we're working on a club tour at the end of the year.
Yeah. So we got some dates coming.
October, November, December.
Yeah. Okay. So a lot of things
in the works.
Happening, yeah.
Sure.
Great. If we go back in time, and I'm gonna direct this to you a little bit, Robert. But before you and Arjen Lucassen met, there was something you both had in common. Bodine.
Yeah.
Because you both played in Bodine.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was a big Bodine fan, and I can remember that my mother said to me, "Look, in this magazine, it was a broadcast magazine from Vara or something,
Right.
and there were posters in it,
Vara familie.
you know, and you had a poster of Judas Priest, no coincidence, a poster of Saxon, no coincidence, and a poster of Bodine."
Yeah.
And then my mother said, "Look, there's a Dutch band, and you know that Giel Montagne, you know him from, but I knew Bodine. So that poster was in my room, you know, the first album of Bodine, and I directly thought, well, this album was so great. On school, we could buy a compilation album with rock bands. It's called Hard. When we were on school, you know, you can, and Ed Warby also bought that album.
Yeah.
There was Bodine on it, and Blackfoot, and you know, all that kind of bands.
Bang for your buck.
Yeah, so that was in our time, you know, rock music was, they promoted it on school, you know. So, and then time flies, you know, we went to concerts from Bodine, and later on, well, I think I was 15 years old, and the first time I saw Bodine was in Goulding, over the brug.
Right.
And let me count, 8 years later I was the singer. Yeah. So
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So Gerard Heidsma, the original drummer, he called me up and said, "Hey man, you want to come and practice with us?" And was not with the original formation. It was with Oscar Holleman on the guitar, and Jeroen Borsi was the bass player for Bodine. So we were in a practice room for 2 years or something in Waalwijk, in Oscar's studio. That's where we rehearsed 3 nights a week.
I learned something every day.
3 nights a week. And we
Before
did
playing
actually,
any shows.
Yeah. They were too scary to do shows, you know. So, and in that time, Arjen and I got to know each other better. And we already started writing songs together while I was in Bodine. And so I got kicked out of the band.
Because you were writing songs?
No, that's, you know, I wanted to play live. The guys didn't dare to play live, you know, so I told them, you know what you should do? Bring in the old singer, Jan van Vechelen, you know, because he's so amazing. And I drove with Gerard Heidsma to Jan van Vechelen's house to get me to the band again. Because I was such a big fan, you know, and so I could go on. Because Arjen and I were already in the Wisselwatch studios recording our songs, you know, so something was happening. And we went down to Germany to the management of Accept, and they wanted to sign us at Evergreen. Bodine, that was the story.
Okay. Yeah.
But we're still friends. I'm still friends with the guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you left on good terms.
Yeah, they're my friends. Yeah, okay. Sure.
Well, you mentioned that you started writing with Arjen. How did that writing go?
I was living in Rotterdam, and and Arjen had this riffs, you know, and sent it to me. But in that time, you had a telephone, and that was new. You had a speaker on it. You know, when Arjen called me, I could turn on the speaker, and he played me the music, and I recorded it with my tape recorder.
Right, that's another version.
Yeah, and then I recorded it with another tape recorder with a microphone. So it was a very terrible sound, but to record the ideas, you know, like "Give Me the Night," for example. You know, that was the first song we had, and at Arjen's home in The Hague, we had this little room where we were sitting. Well, I was singing the songs lying on a mattress like this. That's why we record all the songs with a
with a little 4-track.
Yeah, with the tapes, you know, and well, a friend of mine had a Dutch recorder, so I borrowed it from him, and so we got more professional, you know. Put the 4 tracks on the DAT recorder, so and put it back to the 4 track, so we have 2 tracks left to record more vocals, you know. It was, oh man, and when I think so, when I'm in my studio now, or we're recording, it's so easy, you know.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you learn it on 4 tracks, then you know anything on any computer now it's such a luxury. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and after that I had a 4 stacks, 4 track where you can put your cassette in, you know, 2 tracks on the one side and 2 tracks on the other side, you know.
Yeah, they're the same thing.
Yeah.
It's
Bodine.
Amazing to hear those stories. But when you hear this, how do you feel about that whole process? Have you experienced something like that as well?
Exactly like that.
Okay.
I made like everything that's in my head, I would figure out beforehand and record it on 4 tracks. It's the same thing. If you learn how to do that, then it's Again, you know, it's the way recording is now is accessible for everyone. But for us that learn it on a 4 track, it's like you have your own professional $1 million studio basically. If you look at it the way it was in the 80s.
The companies had to pay for studios. Oh.
It's insane. For a week studio you could have, or 2 days studio, you could have everything you need to make an album right now. Literally.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's
Koen?
Oh yeah, I also experienced, but that was a little bit later. I think I'm a '90s kid, so it was mini disc to tape, and then same trick.
Yeah, me.
Yeah.
I got it also. Still bad.
Different kind of tape, but
Yeah, same.
still tape. Yeah.
Better sound.
Now a lot of years passed by, 30 years. What happened to those recordings? I mean, you have those tapes.
Actually, 34 years.
34 years. Okay.
Yeah, what happened, man?
I still had them on tapes, on cassettes, you know, the songs. And the only songs we recorded professional was in the Wisseloord studios. And after that we recorded a few songs more at Oscar Helmond studio. But nothing going on, you know. We went to Polydor, Arjen and I, and we were sitting there and with a big carbon statue of Robbie Valentine behind us. So that's what was going on. Yeah. So
it's a very surreal situation.
So I was like,
But the tapes were lost?
No. Now, well, we have to look, we have to search for all the songs, you know, and still, I think I found something that I couldn't find a year ago, you know, but now I'm like, what the fuck? I do have it, you know, so we got some things left.
But
there might be more lost songs.
Yeah, a few more.
The most important thing is that the musical climate was just completely against anything that's on this album. It was like 1994 or something?
No, earlier.
Earlier.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's anything that's remotely 70s or 80s was just, you know, it was just forbidden.
Yeah.
It was, so that's why it took a long time so it got a chance to be heard, and that's right now basically.
Yeah. But they did resurface. How did you?
Actually, it was. I was working on an album for a solo album, but why I don't know. I had to do something, and I already sent songs to record companies, and I had some interest, and I called Arjen and said, "Hey, we got some songs left. Why don't we record any more?" He said, "Good idea. I record it for you." But I wasn't working on the band, so I said to Arjen, "Well, but I got some musicians, you know, and I know how Arjen works, you know." So he said, "No, I recorded myself." And well, when we recorded that song, he told me, "Hey man, Koen, you should call Koen," and that's what I did because I wanted Koen to play drums. So and he said yes, and then he played the first song, and I was like, "What the fuck," you know? And Arjen and too, and we had so much fun. So we started to record the whole album, and yeah, then I already knew which people I wanted to play on the album, Marcel and Koen, and Irene was my wish, you know, if I did something I should bring in Irene. And very quick after that, when we had to do the live shows, I brought in Jane because and that fit perfectly with Irene's voice. So and they bring the show, you know, and so we got a perfect team together now. And yeah, it's like we said, it's a party, it's a play together.
Yeah, because from the moment you guys started working on the music, you wanted to go and play them live.
You know, if you make an album, it's terrible to make an album and put it in, you know, and don't play.
Yeah, so the record company was surprised that we wanted to do it. So.
And he said, "Well, do you want?" I said, "Yes, I'm gonna play." So and that's what we do now, and I'm glad we did it. So and we're not finished yet. We just started.
Yeah, it was sort of a project from the past that got new life, and now it turned into an actual functioning band. So it's
and we're writing new stuff.
Loads of new stuff. So it's it's really cool.
Let's not get ahead. I'll get to that. But when I remember the album being announced, and the first track that was released was Before the Morning Comes, with a really beautiful video shot at the Baruch.
Yeah.
That's a special place for you.
Yeah, for me, yeah.
So how was it to you know, do that video there?
It was in my head already what I wanted, you know, and yeah, it was special. Was the
especially now because now
the place
no
broke down, you know,
yeah.
and that's what I wanted, you know, because just for the memory, to put it, to record it in Baruch, you know,
and with Arjen.
And with Arjen together, you know,
and Joost.
Yeah. So and Rob, of course,
yeah.
and they're all good friends. We are all good friends, and we make music a long time together, you know, in different, and then get them all together is amazing, you know, and like we never did something else or something, but you know, it feels good. And in Baruch, and as you see the video, everybody is working their ass off. We re-recorded the song, I think.
Yeah, but we played it twice as fast, right?
Yeah.
Because of the slow motion.
Oh yeah.
It
wasn't slow for me.
It's much harder than you think.
It was twice as fast because then it would have like slow motion functions or something.
And it really works, but it's kind of really unnatural, but it looks good.
And it was also hard to listen back to the song originally after 50 times twice as fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was cool. Cool moment.
So there's really a lot of work
Yeah.
in the video.
Yeah.
I think
we
a lot
got
of
it all
people-
done. We had
a lot of people have
But
no
when
idea.
it was recorded, the work was even more because Arjen and we are like perfectionists, and every detail had to be controlled. You know, oh man, it was a lot of work. Even the color, you know, and I don't know about, you know.
If you haven't
no
listened,
CPR, no
check it out.
CPR.
Oh man. Yeah.
Oh, wow, amazing stories. I always love those stories. That's why I like to do these interviews, to hear, you know, those stories behind the music. Now, the music on the album is quite varied. There's a lot of different flavors. You have the bluesy, you have the more rock, even close to metal. Do you guys have like a favorite song to sing or to play?
For me, it's probably Dr. Robert's Medicine Show and High Speed Chase. Those are two of my favorites. Yeah, I like the whole album, but those are two standouts for me.
For me, Get Down to Business. Yeah, it's a really nice part where at the live shows, Irene and I get to the front, and yeah, I love it. And there's a lot of power. Every song's a lot of power. Almost every song. Yeah, we don't even mention ourselves backing vocalists. We call ourselves supporting vocalists.
Supporting. That's a really nice.
Supporting.
Supporting.
What are your favorite tracks to play? Choose two.
I think Dr. Robert, and Before the Morning Comes, because it's emotional
really cool.
for me. It's even it's always hard to sing it because a lot of things going through my mind when singing it, but works out well all the time, you know.
Yeah.
Emotions of through my life, you know. It's in that song.
Yeah.
And yours?
I think High Speed Chase as well, and Business as well. Yeah. And then the show goes like this, like a climax, and with this it all comes together.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now, that's a question I'm always curious about, and I think, at least for you, I know the answer. What do you prefer, in the studio or on stage?
You first.
Both.
Yeah,
you know, I'm in studio every day. You know, I think we all.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Our lives are. It's just it's always music every day.
Apples and oranges, really. It's like they're completely different worlds, and you know, if you only do one of those, and you start missing the other thing after a couple of months. So it's a really good balance to do both as much as possible.
Yeah, I need to play live.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you?
Yeah, well, what Marcel says,
Yeah.
actually, studio and live. But if I have to choose, live.
Yeah, it's true. But
You put a knife on.
But
the
I would
road.
really
like to create as well.
be bummed if I could never record anything again. So it's,
And you?
For me, it was always more live and now more studio.
Okay.
So less live,
Changed,
more
yeah.
studio. Yeah.
Well, why did that change?
Maybe because I want to write more and more. Like you said.
Yeah.
To create. Yeah.
And when you play live, it have to be perfect. You know, we're on the age that you don't want to play shows with that's not good arranged or anything. You know.
Nah.
So
people might not know. It takes you a full day from like 12 in the morning till 3 a.m. For a 1 hour set. So then, you know how much effort it costs.
That's terrible. No, it's
but a lot of people don't know that, and then at least you get a bit selective of what you do, right?
Yeah, and as you should, because it's a really special thing, and you shouldn't ruin it with doing gigs that are below your level, basically. So if it has to be right, and none of us really have to do specific things that we don't want to do. So it's good to keep certain standards, so it remains fun.
As you mentioned, you guys have been playing together for a long time.
Yeah.
Not just in Plan Night, but you also have the Rock Party of the Year. You also are in that together.
Yeah.
So how do you keep things? How do you say it? Relaxed, that you can still remain in one room together.
It's just totally different songs and situations, and you know, it's like we're all at a certain age where a lot of bullshit is we've already worked out. We're all very grateful that we can actually do this. So that's and you don't necessarily realize that when you're 25. You know, I certainly realize it. That's just you can sit on the couch or you can go rehearse all day or play a show.
And
basically,
we got our roles in the bands, and like Rock Party of the Year, we got a band that's focus on the music, and we the three of us are arranging all the stuff, the shows and the context and everything, so that keeps it rolling well, And
I think the cool thing is indeed that it's So you select a certain amount of shows you do with a certain level, and as well with the rock party, not too much, and then every show becomes its own event. It's not like, oh, we're gonna do a gig. No, it's a real, like a full event.
It's a real total thing. Yeah.
And then also, like you said, then you realize it's really special to be able to do this with such cool musicians, and then every time it's a special event. Yeah. So it's not like we're on the road 30 days, maybe.
No,
we love to.
There's always something to work towards. That's not like 2 months away. There's always something going on to really focus on. So
and the dedication is the same for all of us, right?
Absolutely.
That's the point where we were going, and that's the dedication we have towards that point, up.
And then you lift up each other.
Okay. Yeah, nice to hear. Now you guys are in the music business for a long time. You have a lot of experience. What was the best advice you have been given in your career?
That's an unexpected and really good question. Best advice.
Let's think about
You can do like this, right?
That's not one thing. It's just certain bands. I think this is a lot of people, musicians, recognize this. Certain bands you're in because it's your thing and it sort of revolves around you. And then there's other situations where it's kind of like school, and every day is kind of filled with advice and everything. So it's it's not one thing, but I've had loads of people, like teachers basically, however you want to call them, throughout. I've been playing for 42 years now, so it's not one thing, but loads of things.
What sticks out for you?
I don't know. I got no advices, I guess. No, it's your when it's not in your veins, you shouldn't do it.
Good one.
That's right. That's absolutely so.
Because it's you go low and you can climb up again. But there were very much lows in my career. Traveled a lot, played in German bands, played in America in band and everything, and you always start going on, because if you don't work hard, you won't make it. And even if I don't make it, that's what I always want. I always make music.
Oh, we made it, right?
Yeah, but well, people know me. I got a lot of jackets at home.
And for you, what's a piece of advice?
Be around people you want to be around with, and that you can, together you can feel that you can make something better all the time. So on a level that you're gonna get leveled up and never down.
And it happens that you're
with your heart.
It also happens that you're in a band. That's not the.
But then you feel it, and then you can make your choice. And then okay, this isn't something I need to go through with. So then you make your choice and you go level up. And And I feel that I'm around people all the time. Actually, last year.
There's no passengers.
No.
And you?
Yeah, we can compare it with every show being a special event. Realizing it's special that you're invited to play somewhere in a beautiful venue. I mean, the venues in Holland, if you compare it around the world, are great.
Absolutely.
So it's already special that you're there with a lot of special people. Then also the promotion and making noise and getting people to your show, it's not going to happen by itself. I mean, of course, if you would have a #1 hit, it's a different story. But if you do prog or rock, it has to come from yourself. So that helps, especially young musicians. I want to tell them like, it's not only going there to play; it's the whole thing.
you had that advice, you're sharing some advice. Is that also the advice you would give to someone else, and other like starting musicians?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, for me.
I've a job as a teacher at the conservatory in Amsterdam, so half my week is filled with giving advice every minute of the day, and it's those things. But you also have to take into account what at what stage somebody is, that their ears are open and they're willing to listen. But it's all these things, really.
But it's a lot easier for the kids to these days, making music.
Making music is
and getting somewhere or something.
But there's so much out there
that's true. That's
really
true,
really hard to make a noise. On the other hand, everything is so in little boxes and compartments that it doesn't necessarily feel that way to them. It's like they got their own thing, they're in their own little bubble, and everything else doesn't seem to exist. And which is great, because it certainly gives you a feeling that you've got something to offer. But it's a really strange place, because we're all, well, most of us are, we all really realize how it was in the 80s or in the 90s, and it's like it's a totally different planet in every way. It's not comparable in any way. So it's in terms of sales and promotion and the way you record everything. It's unrecognizable in pretty much.
I heard stories of developers renting the studio whistle for 6 months.
Yeah, they had to
come in. No, I don't feel like it, and go away.
Not really that. They worked their ass off, but it just took a long time, and they had to sell in the end like 4 million albums to break even.
Yeah.
Which they did, because they sold like 13 million.
Okay. But actually, they were living the developers were also living in Hilversum.
Yeah.
Some of the guys live in the house from the people working there, behind the bar.
Yeah.
And when Arjen and I started recording in Misselot, all that stories came up. Because Steve Clark just died,
Oh yeah.
Was a year or a half year before, and then all the stories came because. And our producers, Albert Boekholt, he worked on the Def Leppard album as well, and Arjen and I recorded our first songs with him, so all that stories came up. But that was in that time, man.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Yeah, to me that's incredible. Just realizing that they recorded, it's one of my favorite albums ever, and that all happened there.
Yeah.
And it still looks, parts of the studio still look the same. So it's like you get in sort of time capsule when you walk in there.
Yeah.
So it's to an extent.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
That's awesome. That solo album that started this whole thing, will that ever see the light of day?
No, I don't think so. No, not yet. No, we're working on new songs for Plan 9, and we got a little, we got some songs.
Focus.
And who's waiting for a solo album? I mean, it's something for myself, I think,
Maybe you're
buying my solo album. I mean.
Maybe your soul.
Yeah, maybe my soul music or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's what I love, and no, I want to make at least 2 more albums with Plan 9. That's what I want. Yeah, one or 2, that's nothing. When you make 3, then it's complete.
It's a good goal.
Well, that was my closing question. Is Plan 9 a one-time thing, or will there be more?
No, obviously not. No, it's
definitely
it's hard work, and we're working hard, and we're making plans, and we are sharing ideas. If I got something in my head, and I send it to him, and some words, and other way around. What you think of this, and then I stuff. So it goes fast. We got lots of ideas. And actually, we just have our own studio. We opened it up. We got the keys last Wednesday, so we got a place to work near Rotterdam, and that's where we're gonna start recording. I think at least the first demos, so Koen can play his drums, and we can record the
whole shebang.
Backing vocals and everything.
Yeah.
So we're going fast. I think.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Some things going too fast, but we
No,
take it.
there's a ton of ideas, and we just have to you know, get them into shape and then
Yeah.
record the whole thing.
Yeah.
It won't be that difficult, I don't think.
No.
So, and now we're urgent to play live.
Right.
Yeah.